Welcome to the greenhouse. I am going to show you how I dry my chilies for the winter months. So not only are they just stunning to hang in the kitchen, but really you're preserving them. And if you're like me, a super chilli hoarder, and you grow loads of chilies and you literally cannot keep up, I mean, there's only so many chilies one can eat in a year. This is a great way to give them to friends as presents, or to just dry them so you can use them all throughout the winter until you get your next harvest of chilies. The beauty of doing it like this is that you get the airflow around the chilies, so they're not going to go mouldy. I would love to say I invented this, but this has been a tried and tested method for years and years and years. Now here are some that I did last week, so they're still quite in their infant stages, but these were done about a month ago, and you can really see how gnarly, and listen, can you listen to the rattling? They're really beginning to dry out. Now I'll also be using these in chili oils. I find that if you dry them out, then the oil will last a lot longer. I can also save seeds from these as well. I would strongly recommend when you're doing this to label your chilies, because there's a couple of Carolina Reapers on here, and when they start going really gnarly, you kind of forget what variety they are. And if you're growing some supersonic ones, like as I said, the Carolina Reaper, which I believe is the second spiciest in the world, you don't want the wrong people getting their hands on them, because literally you'll be breathing fire for fun. Now, the way we do this is really quite easy. All you need are needles and a thread. You can use scissors, but sometimes I go rogue and use my teeth. Now we want to use around about 50 centimetres per string. Well, I mean, you could make one even longer if you so wish, but I found 50 centimetres is a nice kind of length. Now you need to double it up because it gives it a bit more strength. Just using it on a single string, they'll probably break. And then, sorry everyone. Ta-da! The teeth worked beautifully well. Now, so you want to make sure you've doubled your thread up. Then, this is the hard part, because I'm going very blind as a badger in my old age. I can barely see. So if I get this through for, whoa, I've just managed to thread a needle. And it didn't take me 3 years. Wow. Then we want to pull our needle to the end. Da, 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 da. Remember, this is not how long your string is going to be. You need to remember to leave a loop at the end so that you can hang it on a window, or you can hang it in your pantry. The thing to remember is you don't really want to leave it in direct sunlight. The reason for that is because they'll kind of start cooking. So I just put them in a cool, dark room. Then we want to knot the end. Now the reason we are knotting the end for drying our chilies is because we don't want all our chilies to fall off, do we? So we've knotted the end probably 3 to 4 times to give it a nice little boundary so that it doesn't fall off. And then we're going to harvest our chilies. Now this variety is really lovely. It's not too hot and it's not too spicy. So we get our chili and literally find the big fat chunky part, pop your needle through and simply thread and keep going. Ta-da! And thread as many as you can. Try not to stab your fingers. I mean, it is inevitable, and I have done it many, many times. Voila, number 2. I mean, I am going to be here all day, and this will probably end up being the most boring video on the face of the planet if I do the whole string. But there we go. You can kind of get the gist of it. Let's just do one more for fun, because it's quite addictive actually, and it's very therapeutic, I find. You know, if you've had a little bit of a bad day, I quite like knitting as well. So this is kind of that nice calming process. So you can see it's really beginning to come along nicely. Also be careful, because they do intertwangle and you end up in a right old pickle. So basically, I'll go back to some I made earlier. So this one, for example, absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful airflow. You can use them as a decoration on the table. You can give them to friends. But again, it's a tried and tested method. And I strongly recommend you have a go, because I really enjoy it. It's so satisfying, and also you're preserving something to keep all through the winter months. And when you open your pantry, you'll just remember, or cupboard, or wherever you put them. I haven't actually got a pantry. I used to have a pantry, but I moved. Now I don't even virtually have a cupboard. But if you open your cupboard, then they just look lovely, and they're a reminder of last year's harvest. I will be putting these in some really gorgeous recipes. I'll even save some of the seeds from these, if you can hear them jingle jangling around in there. Something lovely to do with the kids. However, I would strongly recommend you make them wear gloves, because I've done that before. Put your fingers in your eyes. I mean, for everybody, maybe it's a good idea to wear gloves. We do not want the chilli eyes. It's very painful. Quite looking forward to getting my grubby mitts on this beauty. Look at the amount of chilies we have on here. Now this is a Demon Red, again, really tasty variety, but this is going to make a really stunning mini chili garland. But I think it may take me till Christmas to harvest every one of these chilies and string it up. But when it's done, I will share it with you. I hope you really enjoyed my chili drying session. I am going to be sharing a lot more videos. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I usually teach 2,500 people gardening every year, and next year I am having a bit of a break. I'll be going out on the road, but I'm not going to be seeing so many people, and I really miss it, and I really love teaching, and I love talking as well. And when I talk about vegetables, it makes me even more happy. I'm going to really use YouTube to share all my tips and knowledge, and hopefully get in contact with a lot of you out there. And if you have any questions, please do message me. I love sharing gardening tips, and I really hope you will enjoy this fabulous chili drying sensation, and I look forward to growing with you over the upcoming year.